Making the invisible visible. Black women, 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British, or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance, and legacy. Let's begin.
Yeah, my name is Katrina Lewis. I go by Katrina, which is my actual first name. What I do in the world, so I am a church organist by profession. It's very strategic in how I place sound and how I use sound, how I even manipulate the sound, and what that accomplishes to those who hear the sound, but also feel the sound, right? So with that, I carry a creative and artistic nature. However, I'm very, very, very technical. So I love structure. And with that, that led me into arts administration. So I couple those two things where I'm able to be creative. I'm able to provide a healing source through a sense, but I'm also able to outline and draft strategic plans for not only myself, but other arts organizations. Musically, what holds most is holding a space of safety from day to day. That looks like how I compose the thoughts that I observe within myself. I'm an empath, okay? Very empathetic person. So a lot of what I receive from people, I actually talk to people in the church, and I take all of those realities, right? And compose and create out of that space of empathy. Then the other part, because I can't forget the part of being an arts administrator, right? So what that looks like day to day is making sure the artist that I work with, the organization that I work with, feels supported in the work that they are creating, right? So that's making sure that logistics and operations and things of those sort are outlined and smooth, and that there is concise information that's communicated so that there is no worry in the back of their mind when they are presenting and performing their creative works. My mom was, oh my God, I've never come across a person who just had such a 360 view of the world and deposited that within my siblings and I. She was a beautiful soul that I will always honor. From an early, like my earliest memories of my mom, like 4 and 5 years old, was my mom putting us in different curricular, extracurricular activities that were art-based and allowing us to gravitate to whichever one resonated the most with us. But that the planting of that seed at such an early age, I had no idea that by the time I would get to college, and I actually went to college for law, okay? First week of law school, I realized that was not me and that music was the seed that had bloomed, and as a result, I just betted on myself, took those nuggets that my mom had deposited in me, and I've been running ever since as a musician. When people first meet me, they think I'm very reserved, but that is far, 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 far from the truth. I am animated. I am an extrovert. I enjoy walking into rooms where no one knows me and connecting with people, hearing their story, validating their story, um, letting people know that, hey, I'm a complete stranger, but you're loved. I love giving hugs. I love sharing smiles and encouraging words with people. But just off first glance, when most people see me or are encountering me for the first time, there's this perception that I am a quiet being, and that's so far from the truth. I think wins for me are just waking up in the morning. And I take those moments each day, especially at the top of the day, and I use them in ways to reflect, on the beauty and the blessing of like just being able to feel water, just being able to get up and it's another day, just being able to listen to birds chirp. Like I said, I use that throughout the day, especially because you never know. Like you could wake up one way, you could wake up on top of the mountain, and by the end of the day, you could be like in the valley, right? That's just life. But I use those moments in the morning to kind of help me throughout the day and to sustain some level of appreciation. When I get bad news or news that isn't favorable or news that kind of like shakes my core, and I'm like, but then I try to pull the reflection of how my day started. Like, I'm very thankful for this day to be able to, go out into the world and inspire someone. And that's what I kind of hold to as I'm sloping to the valley, right?
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we'll continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation, and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.